So, we're back. I didn't do technically episode 2 of Shield Hero Season 2. Wow, that was a mouthful. But I technically didn't break down or even talk about Shield Hero Season 2 Episode 2. Episode 3 just came out today. I watched that. Watched Episode 2 as well. So, Episode 2 and 3. So, there's been 3 episodes out of, I think what it's supposed to be 13. Let's make this clear. I'm not here for analysis. I'm just here to show y'all what I think or what I believe, what's going on, or anything I think about the animation and stuff like that. Episode 2, I think we can all agree that it was pretty dull. We kind of all expected that, or at least people that read the light novel, we kind of expected that it be really slow. It was just a simple thing that they had all the commanders of the other regions or the other countries talk to each other. We finally truly meet the spirit tortoise familiar, or the lady, and we finally talk to her about it. She speaks about basically other things in terms of trying to defeat the spirit tortoise, and there's not much to that. She kind of just talks about also like some weird fan servicey thing, I'm sure, and it's them talking about like seducing like someone is the easiest way to make them fall in love with you, or getting in bed with someone is the easiest way to fall which is freaking hilarious. But yeah, she says that like Tarisha on their way out and stuff like that. But episode 2 is really simple. It was just like a meeting. That's about it. Like there's really nothing crazy to it. It was just like kind of like a follow-up. Which makes sense. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, they should have done something way more. They should have done this. They should not really. Like, that didn't make the most sense. Episode 3, on the other hand, is definitely something that I was happy to see. Beautiful, beautiful animation. I think the Spirit Tortoise looks pretty sick. It looks pretty dope. I really like the way they animated luckily, since like as we know in episode 2, they're freaking taking now Fumi's like initiative, which he never has had, right, in the first place. Now Fumi never really had anybody be like, yeah, like let's follow his lead, and it was such a change of pace. I will say though, it does seem kind of odd. Like he seems like friendly now. I don't know. Like it. Now, Fumi's character is a little weird at the moment. I don't know how I feel about it. I know anime adaptations, normally they keep it on the less dark side of things, obviously. Which kind of does concern me a little bit. But I'm sure at the end of the day we'll have a nice little balance. But we had some good moments during the episode 3, obviously, but it wasn't even anything crazy. It was just them getting in formations. We saw Eclair basically leading the charge with the troops and some other people, but let's just say the plan obviously didn't go according to exactly what they thought was going to happen. They basically just tried to attack the Spirit Tortoise in different areas of them, blah blah blah. Didn't work too well. That's until they set off a bomb and one of the commanders basically sacrificed himself. Pretty cool. I like that idea. I mean, the commander taking initiative to do that, right? You have a huge explosion, Spirit Tortoise down, but then you learn that the Spirit Tortoise, yeah, it can still fight when it's down. Like, it has these long range attacks, and then they kind of like want to close the distance. I will say, you see some crazy stuff. Like, they literally show more or less some really cool special effects, really cool like animation with like different moves they're doing, which is really cool to see because obviously last season, like season 1, we saw Raphtalia do really basic stuff. Now she's doing some crazy stuff, like crazy animated things. So that's really cool to see. Same thing with Philo. Like Philo's attacks are still pretty basic, but I will say it was pretty interesting. But on top of that, I said it to myself when I was watching it. It feels like I'm watching a Dragon Ball Z episode. Like, I don't know what was even like the whole point of that, but there was a lot of really cool special effects that they were adding, and like the combination of Raphtalia and Philo was like really really funny in terms of it seemed like I was watching a Dragon Ball Z episode. So yeah, I just found that pretty interesting. They obviously end up slicing the spirit tortoise's head off, which is dope. Like, that's awesome. But then you learn, like, it's not dead, right? The familiars aren't dead, so it's not dead. Which, if you really thought the spirit tortoise would be dead, which, if you, like, honestly, if you thought that the spirit tortoise would be dead, that'd be kind of weird, especially because we're in the third episode. So obviously it's not over yet, but it's just something to keep in mind. We're gonna get a lot more out of this. I mean, we call it the spirit tortoise arc, but there's a lot more to it than just that. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to see that it's being adapted. Okay, like, I wouldn't say it's perfect. There's a lot of things that I wish were in the anime. Some like simple stuff, but the fight maybe was a little too quick. I mean, frankly, in the light novel, it was a lot more drawn out. That fight, you get a lot of stuff to talk about in the light novel. So maybe it happened a little too fast. I would have liked to see, like, maybe it was half an episode, but like half an episode to actually fighting the thing. Like, it was like really cool, but it was like 1.5 minutes of payoff. So I don't know how I feel about that. Like, it wasn't really that interesting. To see, like, the animation was cool. Like, the animation was great. It was awesome, right? But in terms of payoff, like, there wasn't that much payoff at all. We have like just one final strike, and that was kind of it. I mean, don't get me wrong, animation looks freaking amazing. It looks dope. They must have a good budget. It looked awesome. It looks great. The teamwork was crazy. Teamwork was awesome. But I had a feeling it was gonna be fast. Because there was no reason to draw out that fight. Let's just say, in the near future, there's gonna be a different. I'm really curious to see how they change up the fighting, because at the end of the day, in the near future, there's like a big fight coming up, or there's going to be a big fight, obviously, right? You have the spirit tortoise, you have anything else that's gonna come out, but there is going to be some interesting fights coming up here. So I want to know how they do that, and if they do that quick. But I assume and I hope that those fights last like an episode, like a whole episode or even 2 episodes, depending on whatever. But I would assume it is, because we took 3 episodes and 3 episodes, and we're already to the point where the spirit tortoise's head is off. So obviously there is going to be something that is going to be changed, elaborated on, whatever. So I wouldn't dock it too much for pacing yet. I don't think the pacing is bad. I think the pacing is what it has to be, right? But I do think you should be expecting some good stuff here in the animation and also the fighting. I really enjoy the Shield Hero fights. I think they're dope. I think in general they're dope. I think that it's I think the idea of all these special abilities, stuff like that, you can get really creative with it. But yeah. I think that is about it that we have to talk about. Like I said, not here to do some analysis, just here to give you my thoughts and quick things. Honestly, Shield Hero looking like the next Dragon Ball Z right now, bro. I don't know what's going on, but that animation was really great. So that'd probably be the title of the freaking video. But with that said, there's nothing much more for me to say. So I think that's about it. And I hope all y'all just have an amazing day. Night, whatever, whenever you're listening to this. So yeah, later.